Reggie Aloysius Miller III joining us now on loan from Turner Sports. Good morning, Reggie.
Good morning, Theodore. Wait a minute. I'm a little bit confused here because last week I thought the L.A. Lakers were your team.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, but now it's this week
The Timberwolves.
Minnesota's your team.
They're my future team. Like my Lakers are my team now, and then the Timberwolves are going to be my future team.
Couldn't you make the same case because the Lakers are so young as well? They could be your future team.
Who has a better record this year, Minnesota or the Lakers?
Well, come on. Right now, it's the Lakers.
I know, but who will?
Wow.
And then I want you to tell me who has a better future.
Both well coached. I like Thibs and I like Walton. I like what both approach to both young teams. I mean, look, Minnesota has 2 Rookie of the Years on their team, in Wiggins and Cat.
Yeah.
And then you pick up Dunn. I like with deloading and Julius Randle triple-double last night. Come on, man. They're both good young teams.
Just
right
make
now,
a
Lakers
pick. Who's going to have a better record this year, and who do you like in the future?
Going forward, I like Minnesota just because of Cat and Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dunn is going to be great. He has Rubio to be a shadow. I like the upswing of Minnesota going forward. This year, I think at the end of the year, I think Minnesota will end up having a better record.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I see Minnesota as a potential playoff team. I don't think the Lakers are a playoff team, but they are fun to watch. I love the tempo.
The tempo is great. You won't get a lot of that in Minnesota. They
No.
don't play, with pace. They're more, when you think of Coach Thibodeau, defensive oriented. So, but they've got scorers in Cat and Wiggins. So I think the upside is with Minnesota, but I agree with you. I do love how my Lakers are playing. They're fun to watch. They really are.
Do the Cavaliers already regret trading Andrew Wiggins? Even though they won a title, will they regret trading Andrew Wiggins?
I don't know if you can regret it because you have a title to show for it. And right now they're clearly the best team still in the Eastern Conference and probably the league.
Okay.
So, no, if you still continue to stack up titles, you can't regret anything. You got Kevin Love in the deal, so no, I don't think you regret it because you have a title to show for it.
All right. If they didn't, then we'd probably have
that's a different discussion.
Yes. All right. Speaking of the Cavs with LeBron James, LeBron was sad, hurt that Phil Jackson talked about his team. He's telling a Pat Riley story, and he used the word posse to talk about LeBron James' business partners. Do you understand why LeBron James feels hurt or is angry about what Phil Jackson said?
I do. Look, in today's, racial climate, you've got to be able to read the climate of, what's going on in America. And LeBron James has built not only a sports empire, a business empire, with Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, and it just so happens to be guys that he grew up with. And when you use the term posse, because most people are going to think it's African-American, which pretty much it is.
Yeah.
If you're Phil Jackson, you wouldn't say Tom Brady has a posse or Aaron Rodgers has a posse. So why does LeBron James have to have a posse, if it's his friends that work for him and have built up this empire? To me, it's Phil Jackson being out of touch because I thought it was uncalled for. What he has done in Akron, in Cleveland, sending kids to school, having Rich Paul, who's one of the most successful sports agents, Maverick Carter, who does most of his production deals in Hollywood. I mean, this is a huge empire, and these young men deserve the credit of putting in the time and effort to make these deals happen, and to refer to them as a posse, like, it's just his boys hanging around with him and it's all LeBron James. No, it's not that. I think it's disrespectful for a guy of Phil Jackson's stature, a guy that's been around, coached, three of the greatest players of all time, and Shaq, Kobe, and MJ. And just to refer to LeBron James, his boys being posse, I think it's totally disrespectful and uncalled for.
Yeah, I don't think it makes Phil a racist, as it was sort of
No.
hinted at, that LeBron said, I don't know what he's saying when the camera's not on him, but
no. And to that point, if you're LeBron James, you've got to temper that as well.
Yes.
Because you don't want to incite it. You don't want to throw any gasoline on it. Do I think Phil Jackson is a racist? Absolutely not. Should he have used the term posse? Absolutely not. It's disrespectful. It's almost like you're not giving LeBron James and his business partners any credit. And I don't know if this is any type of gamesmanship, in the Eastern Conference, but it's a term that should not come out of a 75-year-old white man's mouth about the face and star of our league in LeBron James.
Yeah, it just feels like that he's never been comfortable with LeBron James for whatever reason. But, here's Phil, who, and I know he's asked the question, talking about Popovich and Riley and himself as the three great coaches of the modern era. But
Sure.
To weigh in on LeBron and his time in Miami, to me, for the president of the Knicks to do it was just, I don't know what he's doing. Why put himself in that position in the first place, unless it was to have Pat Riley's back, but in the process diminish LeBron a little bit. That was the feeling I had.
Again, Theodore, I'm sure there's a lot of Knicks fans that are scratching their head wondering what Phil Jackson is doing as well. So you're not alone in that, and you're never going to win, especially when you're talking about LeBron James and his time with Pat Riley in Miami. It was great. We all remember the press conference. We're not going to win 3, 4, 5, 6. People remember those things, and certainly Pat Riley remembers those things. Look, 4 straight trips to the NBA Finals, winning 2 of them. That's pretty good. That's a heck of an achievement for LeBron James, Pat Riley, and the Miami Heat. His calling was to always come home to his roots and win a championship for Cleveland. What is wrong with that? I was critical when he first left. I thought he never should have left. And I was the first one to say, welcome home, LeBron James. Mm-hmm. But again, there's no way Phil Jackson should be saying posse and LeBron James in reference to Maverick Carter and Rich Paul. It's uncalled for.
I don't know if you've seen these 3-point. We're talking to Reggie Miller. He's got game tomorrow night. It's the Timberwolves hosting the 76ers. I'm looking at the 3-point shooting numbers here, Reg, and it is crazy how many guys are shooting 44% or better. Steph Curry, I think, is 8th in the league in percentage 3-point shooting. Andrew Wiggins is shooting 54 from 3-point range. Big men are shooting, 48, 49. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a call for it's too easy of a shot, which I argue that it's not too easy of a shot, but it's getting easier. Why is that?
Well, how about guys putting in the time and effort during the summer? Wiggins, not known to be a 3-point shooter. How about him putting in time and effort during the summer to work on something that was a deficiency in his game? Let's give credit to the guys, with these shooting percentages of working on something that they weren't comfortable with. Is it an easier shot? No. The 3-point line has been around forever. But I think guys are putting in the time and effort to work on it because it's a big part of today's game. The 3-point shot wasn't that big in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. It is now. So I think teams are encouraging their players, including the bigs, to get behind the line and shoot 500, 700, 1,000 a day. And I think we're seeing that in the percentages going up.
Did you make any thing of the Klay Thompson to the Celtics? Brian Scalabrine with sort of a rumor-ish of that possibly. Could you ever see a scenario? And if you do, which guy's the mostly going to be the most likely the odd man out in Golden State? Is it Klay?
Number one, I can't see a scenario because why would you do and bring in a Kevin Durant if you're going to trade one of the existing 3? This is a super team built just for this, and I think a lot of this is obviously, coming from Scalabrine and other anonymous general managers who don't want to put their names to things trying to tear up the Golden State Warriors. And, they're trying to get these guys to start fighting and bickering with one another. And the best thing I saw come out of Golden State was the quotes by Draymond Green saying, I don't care about all-star games. I will remember championship rings a lot more than making a stinking all-star game. My stats are going to suffer, but the betterment of the team is more important. And I think comments like that, they permeate throughout your team. So all the other negative stuff that's going on the outside is just white noise.
Yeah, but I want to know what Klay Thompson thinks, because Klay said, I'm not changing when Durant was coming over, and he has not looked comfortable at all.
The last few games he has. Yeah. It was a rough start.
Yeah.
It was a rough start, but if you look at his last 3 or 4 ball games, the shooting touch is starting to come back because his game doesn't have to change. He will always be set up from Draymond and Steph, and even KD to a certain extent. So his game will never change. I thought the person's game who would have to change would be Steph, because both of those guys are ball-dominating type players. And you look at the numbers, Draymond Green's numbers have dipped because he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much because Steph and KD does.
All right, I'm going to let you sign 2 Golden State Warriors to max deals for the next 5 years. You have to pick 2 of the Golden State Warriors for the next 5 years.
Well, Steph and KD.
Oh, all right.
That's easy.
It's not even close, huh?
No, it's not even close. Think about this. They have 2 of the top 10 players, 4 of the top 15 players on one team. And everyone is questioning their bench, and rightfully so. But that will always be a work in progress. I don't care what's going on in November and December and January. I want to see what's going on in March, April, and going into the playoffs starting April 15th. That's what I want to see. I don't care what's going on now.
Are you going to go?
This is going to be a work in progress.
Have you seen a Rams game yet?
On TV. I mean, last week, that 96 game put me to sleep in the first half.
Okay, would you go to a home game, even though it's on
I'm a Raider
campus
fan.
at USC?
You know, I'm a Colts and Raider fan.
Okay.
I'm Raiders first, adopted Colts.
Okay.
I would never go to a Rams game. Like I would never go to a Dodger game. I'm an Angel fan.
Okay.
I'm loyal.
Okay,
Just like I would never go on Coward. I would never go on any of those other dudes. I'm loyal to DP. Forget that dude. Plus, when he was talking noise about you, I was about ready to wait outside his studio. That's how you and I roll.
I know
no one puts baby in the corner, Theodore.
I know.
No one's going to talk noise to you. I got your back.
It's like when Jordan started doing that, talking about you, and then I said, Mike, don't do it.
And then you said, hey, Michael, can I have your autograph?
I did.
I know exactly what you said.
No, you're right. Okay, I did. I said, what Reggie we talking about here?
Reggie Theus, right?
Yeah, Reggie. Reggie.
Reggie Williams?
Reggie Theus had great hair, man. Right? He had a Jerry curl, Reg.
He had good hair.
Man.
Unfortunately, I didn't have that hair.
No, you didn't. Reg?
Hey, before I get off the phone.
Yes.
Fritzy, I love you. Get well soon. Fritzy, come on, man.
It's double.
Stop trying to pick up a chair and move it into the kitchen. Is that how we got
No.
Come on, man. A double sports hernia?
He didn't get hurt doing anything.
Are you sure about that? Because there's only a few ways you get hernias. Either you're obese. He's not obese anymore. You're a smoker. He's not a smoker, right?
No, he's smoking.
Okay, so you get it from lifting heavy things. Maybe he was moving furniture around the crib.
No, he does not do that.
He doesn't do that?
No, but he's...
Then Fritzy, come on, man.
He's lifted the show on his shoulders. I think that maybe is what happened there.
See, that was nice to say, because he's listening.
No, he's under the knife right now.
Right, as we speak, he's getting...
Yeah, sliced.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, Godspeed. Get well, Fritzy.
All right.
We miss you.
Safe travels there to Minnesota, Reg. Thanks, buddy.
I will say hello to Coach Thibodeau and tell him that, hey, Dan Patrick...
No, I'm on their bandwagon.
Yeah, hey, you're on the bandwagon.
I love him. Yep, my Timberwolves.
I'll tell him that.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.